Alrighty then. Welcome one and all to the Video Game Lodge. My name is Mike, your dutiful host and demonstrator, and today we'll be taking on Contra, the classic Konami arcade game which got its start in the arcades, but received a decidedly more popular Nintendo Entertainment System port, which expanded the levels, retooled the difficulty, and generally made for a more favorable experience. So, without further ado, let's get right down to it. Alright, now, the catch with Contra is that you can only take one hit before dying, so you've really gotta be aware of your surroundings. I just picked up the machine gun power-up and then the rapid fire power-up, which allows for automatic bullets, as well as faster bullets on top of that with the R power-up. Here we have this automatic turret, which fires up exactly where I am. And here's the king of the weapons, the spread gun, which you basically don't need any other weapon once you get it, because it's really powerful and projectiles are just everywhere in the screen at all times. However, I'm going to be picking up all weapons at least once to demonstrate what they're like. And here we have the fire weapon, which is definitely the worst. It fires these curling fireballs that aren't too much more powerful than basic bullets and are really slow and kind of stupid. Definitely a giant step down from the spread gun, which I recommend holding on to anytime you can get it. Like there's the spread gun again. The difference is obvious. But I'm going to be an idiot and get the laser gun as well, so I can demonstrate that, where it fires a powerful singular multi-hit projectile. But you can only have one on the screen at once. If you try to fire another laser, the one that was being fired disappears. So, not the worst weapon. It's not the fire, but it's not the laser either. Here we are at the first boss, a gigantic wall, which has two cannons and a sniper, which I killed immediately. Really easy for a first boss, though. Once you destroy the cannons, the core down there is left defenseless, and we just got a bonus life. So then we just get to mash on the fire button until we blow a hole into the first enemy base. Stage 2 changes the conventional side-scrolling perspective in favor of this 3D perspective instead, where the red enemies give you power-ups, and all the other ones are just hopping around like a bunch of loonies. The best way to avoid bullets is simply to crouch. If you try to move around them, they're a little bit difficult to deal with. However, enemies will sometimes throw grenades, which you have to dodge and cannot duck. But for the most part, crouching works. Let's see how far I can get with the laser here. Although, I think this is the last weapon to demonstrate. Once the spread gun comes along, I definitely will be wanting to get that one back. I mean, most of the weapons come down to personal preference, but most will tell you that the spread gun is best. Also, this stage here has a bunch of logs that roll across the floor, which can also kill you if you're ducking. I'm gonna wait for the red guy to show up, see if I can get something favorable. Oh, grenades. Watch out for... Oh, darn it. Well, that kills the possibility of going with a no-death kill, but... the basic gun is probably not as bad as the fire gun, all things considered. Oh, lord, this is getting pretty rough, though, I gotta say. Being beaten down by fire all the time. Alright. So then we come to the first boss. Second boss, I mean. First boss of the first base. Because there's another base like this coming up, but Anyway, once you destroy the two spread guns, it becomes essentially defenseless, while you destroy the other two cores. Except that this eyeball, or whatever thingy, pops out after you destroy all the cores. However, it's pretty easy. It fires a gigantic projectile that moves pretty slowly and is destructible by just, like, 2 shots. So, it can hit you offside there if you're not careful, but for the most part, not a challenge. Not much of a challenge, anyway. Alright, so then, on to level 3. A significant jump up in difficulty will be coming to here. Both a pretty dang cool background, if I do say so. Watch out for falling rocks. And, fire. I'm gonna stick with the basic gun. I really don't like the fire weapon very much. Laser, somewhat more like it. I might as well take it. And there we got another bonus life. You're limited to 3 lives at the start, but you do get bonus lives once every, I don't know, 100,000 points. That's probably a gross overestimate. The game doesn't show you your score until after you die, so I don't know what's what. Oh, and here's like the only 2 places in the game where the barrier power-up appears. Grab that and our hero Bill is invincible for several seconds. But not invincible from falling down, so you want to watch your steps still if you can. Ah, there's the spread gun. Now to just maul everything. I believe you're limited to 10 projectiles on screen at the same time. But it sort of becomes, if you have so many projectiles, the spread gun itself basically functions like the normal gun, which isn't too bad. If you got a fair trigger finger, then you can really do immense damage with the spread gun in the blink of an eye. And here we come to the very impressive third boss, who wouldn't look too out of place in an H.R. Giger or Geiger work. Oh, darn. I can never remember how to pronounce his name. I've heard different things, but he is a very fantastic artist, and he will be missed. It still really sucks he died 4 times. But that's neither here nor there. The third boss has been destroyed. If you can just stay aware of its flailing tentacles, then he's not so bad. And then we come to the second base, which can be a pretty tough level. It's pretty much just like Stage 2, but worse, and the cores are protected by shields. And also, almost every stage has those rolling logs that you have to watch out for. Alrighty. So then that's that. Here we gotta destroy all 4 of these cores. There are those logs again. I don't really have too much to say about the base levels. They're pretty darn straightforward. An interesting change of pace, but this is the last one. All the stages afterwards are side-scrolling affairs. Although I should note, do not press up while you're in a base level, because you get shocked against the electro barrier. It doesn't kill you, but it does stun you for a little bit, which might be enough to get shot. There we go with that. Logs there. You're destroying the wall turrets does help you a lot, but, oh! The rapid fire for the spread is a really good thing to have. If you pick it up, ideally you don't need any other weapon if you do get those 2. See, we just stomped through that one in a matter of seconds. Also, the second base is longer than the first. I thought it would have been at the core by now, but it's lasting a little longer than I remember. And here we are at the big core. I'm going to destroy the turrets first if I can. Okay, maybe not that one up Oops! Hit up by accident. Once again, don't do that. And thus we move on to the fourth boss, which is like the level 2 boss. Except for the notable difference that enemies run on the little passages there and try to shoot you. Oh! That was stupid. Then you have these blue guys that try to dive down on you. Well... Oh, this is going to be tricky. You do, once again, have to face a more actual boss after destroying the cores, but this one's significantly tougher than the level 2 boss, where it fires these semi-homing... These, twin brains or whatever fire these semi-homing bubbles at you. They're destructible, but they can be hard to hit, and the brains themselves are only vulnerable once every few seconds, otherwise they're sort of phasing out of existence. They don't take too much punishment, though, so fire quickly whenever they appear. Try and do your best to jump over those bubbles and destroy them when you can, and eventually you will be victorious. Whew. It doesn't get too much easier from here on out. Stage 5, the snowfield, has lots of grenades for you to avoid. See, there they are now. As well as these mounted turret enemies, which take quite a bit of damage. Grenades falling in a pattern. Be aware of it. We'll take the machine gun, as it's not quite spread gun, but still an improvement over the basic weapon, since auto fire is a pretty nice thing to have. And there's the rapid fire, that should definitely help. Flame shot. Nope. Ooh. I wonder what these all have. Oh! That flashing falcon I got was the very rare Mega Crush item. I think that's the only place in the game where that's found. Fairly useful point to have it, I just wish it popped up more often. Uh-oh. Upcoming is a mid-boss, this gigantic snowplow with a gun on it. If you don't have the spread shot, this is going to be a real pain to try and kill. But if you do, then it's significantly easier. If you don't, then you either need a really hyperactive trigger finger, or a turbo controller, if nothing else. Although, if you do lose a life to it, then you can just walk past it. But thankfully, spread gun, as long as we have that, should make things much less of a pain. Alrighty, and here we come to the exits, and this level's boss, which is a large teleporting UFO that drops bombs and smaller ships, both of which are destructible. Wait until it gets a little closer and then you can just maul it with the spread shot. I cannot stress enough how amazing the spread shot is. If you want to make the game more challenging, then you can deliberately avoid grabbing it whenever it appears. But I say there's certainly no shame in wanting the best. Jump over the machine gun there, since I still want to hold on to the spread. Destroying that guy for no reason, other than 91 points. Points actually do matter in this game, since you get lives from them. Yeah, the energy zone here is a pretty tricky level because of all the flame jets that are spewing out around everywhere. So, really do watch your step. And duck! That could be a nasty trap there for people who aren't expecting to get a face full of fire. Once again, be careful here. Oop, that was close. Duck. You can jump there as well. Duck again. Alright, let's just scope out ahead there. Ah, there's another very rare barrier. Hopefully you can get down to it without getting maimed. Oh, that was close. There we go. Now you don't have to worry about the fire for about 10 to 15 seconds. Although you aren't given any indication of when your invincibility time runs out, so do be careful. Alright, we're already near the end of the energy zone. And here we have what I can best describe as a giant golem football player as the boss. Doesn't look like it, but you can jump over him while he's walking. He'll also fire out these power discs every now and again. 3 at a time. But he's not so bad. Although he is annoyingly dodging my shots, but there we go. Alright, we're already 3/4 of the way through the game, onto the hangar, which is arguably the roughest stage in the game, even more so than the final one to come after it. These spike presses are pretty much the main reason why. There are lots of them all throughout the stage, and no thank you, fire. Yeah, the fire shot is like getting the dagger sub-weapon in Castlevania. Which is another game I fully intend to cover. Oh, hey, I didn't know you could do that. I jumped on those rising spike walls, but somehow I didn't get destroyed. But yeah, you have to destroy those walls when they pop up and they take several hits. Whoops! Almost ran into that one. You really want to watch your step in this level. And there, that floor doesn't... Oh, I got run over by the minecart. That's terrible. Oh, hey, there's another barrier. Alright, well, we still got at least 5 lives, although, you aren't shown any more beyond 4 badges, so I could have a little more than 5 at this point. I lost count of all the extra life dings. Grab the machine gun, because it's better than nothing. Ah, good old spread. I knew you'd return to me eventually. Alright, watch out for the fast-rising spike walls, just tear through them. And this is a bit of a tricky part here. You have to just carefully position yourself in between the spike mashers, then destroy that wall when it pops up. Oh! Almost got hit by that sniper, and that one. And this guy as well. Yet patience is ideally a key for Contra, but I'm just kind of rushing through it. After such a rough level, though, the boss is a little bit of a disappointment. It's just a pair of bomb turrets, and... Well, it's a disappointment that I lost a life to, but it's okay. We still got several lives to do this. Now, after you destroy both the turrets, though, the enemies stop flowing in. So, you can just rush up and obliterate the core, and there we have it. And we come to the final stage, the Aliens Lair, where the technological theme of all the rest of the stages is replaced by something considerably more Geiger-esque. Or Giger-esque. Ah, jeez, I really should have researched that before referring to him. But anyway, we have to deal with this creepy, gigantic face that spits floating alien shrimp. Although you'll be firing at the mouth that shoots the shrimp, so really its projectiles, so to speak, are not too effective. Alright, you do not want to fall into that multicolored muck, and these giant mouths shoot floating, semi-homing cotton balls that, after floating around for a few seconds, then fly towards your position at warp speed. You want to destroy those before they move too quickly. Oh, and we have the spread gun back for the finale, so that should make the final boss quite easy. The final battle is not so bad. You'll see when we get there. I gotta admit, though, I do like this level's use of color, even if it's a little disgusting. Oh! Watch out for the Spider Scorpion, or whatever you can call it. The final boss is a... wait for it, watch it. Is a gigantic heart, bizarrely enough, with 4 pods that generate these, alien arachnid guys. However, if you destroy all 4 pods, then it becomes completely defenseless. Actually, it's much easier even if you just destroy the bottom 2. I'll leave the top 2 so it's a little more of a challenge. But not much more of a challenge, as it turns out. Little bit of an anticlimax, but it looked pretty cool, I'll give it that. And, there we have it. So we destroy that heart and the entire island explodes. Maybe the entire island was its body. I don't know. It's some sort of bizarre alien biology I'll never understand, and you probably won't either, because, you know, why should logic make sense in a game like this, anyway? Just consider yourself a hero, as the game's recommending. And, yeah, in only a time of approximately 20 minutes, that's Contra in a nutshell. Still an incredibly fun game to play. Can be a pretty tricky one, but of course, most people know the Konami Code to input at the title screen. Good old up, up, down, down, left, right, BA start. At least I hope it's BA and not AB. Oh, one of those two. I haven't used it in a while. You get good enough at Contra after a while with the 30 lives code that you won't need it. But I certainly had a lot of fun playing through it. I mean, it's a real sort of popcorn game that you can just, you know, pop up in 5 minutes and then eat it over the next 15. No, that analogy didn't really make a lot of sense. Ugh. I'm usually pretty exhausted after beating a game, so my brain power is not really up to par while I'm cooling down. But if you wanted to, you can go through the game again. I think the challenge... Oh, hey, it's telling me that I have 9 lives somehow. Wow, I didn't think I got that many throughout the course of the game. It is semi-generous with its bonus lives, as it turns out. But yeah, if you wanted to see the code in practice, I can gladly do that. There we go. It was BA start, right the first time. And then you start out with 30 lives, which should make playing the game significantly easier. Still not a pushover, though. It does really take a spike up in difficulty base 2 onward. But I can't think of much else to say about Contra. Still a classic of Konami's fantastic run in the latter 80s. And I certainly would like to cover more games in the Contra series, as well as the other 2 flagship Konami action series, Castlevania and Gradius. But for now, I think this should do it for the Video Game Lodge. This has been Contra, and I am Mike, your host and demonstrator. I hope you've had fun, and I'm going to stop the recording if I can tear myself away from playing all over again. That'll do.